On the brief this morning, all bets are perhaps off at this rate with the unending Rivers political crisis following a resolution by Governor Pro-Fubara to probe governance in the state. He says, with a continuous effort by his opponent to sabotage his government despite effort to broker peace, he's left with no choice but to look backwards into activities of governance despite whose ox is God. Governor Fubara gave his position during the swearing-in of a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Dagogo Boroma, as the state's Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice after it was screened and confirmed by the Victor Okojombo-led House of Assembly at the Government House.
When I said that I had a reason for being patient, it was because I know that we are all from one family. And if we have a disagreement, no matter how bad it is, it should be resolved. But it has become very clear that this disagreement, there is no headway to it. And for a lot of reasons, there are very, very visible evidence that there is sabotage, deliberate attempt to sabotage this administration. For that reason, we have to move forward. Yes. And moving forward, if it means taking decisions that is going to hurt anybody, I'm happy that you're already a son before coming in. It means that you must have been a thorough man. It's not the one that while you're here, they now pay money to give you son. When you become the son, the only thing you do is to sabotage government. Like I said, you will get your reward, not in next world, this world. Let me also say this. You have a big tax. As it is today, in the local palace, they said the jungle has matured. We will be setting a panel of inquiry to investigate the affair of governance.
Oh, those are very strong words. Jungle don't mature. That's how he said in the local palace. Let's move on now. Let's just backtrack a bit for a moment. When the Victor Okojombo-led House of Assembly screened and confirmed Mr. Dagogo Boroma as the state's Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Rivers State. During the screening of the nominee, Dagogo Boroma pledged to uphold the rule of law and serve the state diligently, irrespective of the ministry will be deployed to. Present at that screening were principal officers and former members of the Rivers State House of Assembly.
Distinguished members, before we proceed, the leader, please move a motion for this auditorium and admin block, the Rivers State House, Government House, to be adopted as the hallowed chambers pursuant to the Executive Order RVSG 001-2023 for the temporary relocation of the sitting of the Rivers State House of Assembly.
On this note, may I move that this auditorium, so admin block, Rivers State Government House, be adopted as the hallowed chamber of the Rivers State House of Assembly. I so move.
Today, I hereby rise to second the motion ably passed by the leader of the House. I so second.
Well, the Attorney General did say the things he said about upholding the tenets of the rule of law. But let's move on now to other stories. The last 24 hours has been quite a busy one for organized labor, who are upset over the recent hike in electricity tariff. For them, there is only one way forward, a reversal of that directive. It was not just talk shop for the comrades as they hit the streets, heading straight to the various offices of the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, and distribution companies, DISCOs, nationwide for a picketing action. The presence of the NLC and TUC members at these offices hampered access to the premises as they insist on a reversal of the policy given the current economic challenges for workers.
Next, should change their own policy of increasing tariff. Unknown to some of us here, next policy of increasing tariff is based on inflation and the value of the currency. So if NEC with what they have done now, they have created inflation. They will still go back to increase tariff because of inflation, which they created. Can you see how people are benefiting from their own wickedness? Right. So, comrades, we are here to make this statement clear that we are not just saying don't increase tariff, don't increase tariff. You can't increase tariff for nothing. Nigeria should work with the movement, labor movement, to see how we can improve the power being generated today.
We have listened to you, we have listened to the concern of Nigerians, and will make adequate case and representation to the policy side on the issue of affordability of tariffs. The Commission has issued a number of orders on capping estimated bills by all discos, limiting how much they can bill you. But I think on a more on a better news for the Nigerian consumers is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the Presidential Metering Initiative, giving deadlines to meter all customers in Nigeria. Any distribution company that bills you above the caps issued by the Commission, report to our forum offices, report to our office here, and we'll do the needful.
Now, whilst the labor unions are giving a pushback on the tariff hike and perhaps to cushion the impact of the economic reforms, President Bola Tinubu has directed the mandatory procurement of the compressed natural gas powered vehicles, that's CNG, by all government ministries, departments, and agencies. The president says the transition to cleaner energy through CNG-enabled vehicles, which is believed to produce lower emissions, provides more affordable alternative for Nigerian energy consumers. The president, who gave the directive while addressing members of the Federal Executive Council, says his government will continue with the energy reforms initiated by his administration. It was also a busy day for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, who made a few stopovers visiting top political leaders of the People's Democratic Party in the nation's capital, Abuja. On his part, on his itinerary was a visit to the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, and former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido. In a statement by his spokesperson, Dr. Eunice Tanko, the visit stems from the state of the nation, with focus on how to reduce poverty in the country, especially in the north. The statement explains that the current situation with the vulnerable goes beyond issues of political class and affiliation. Let's now shift attention to election management ahead of the off-cycle elections in Edo and Ondo states, where the electoral umpire has now announced dates for continuous voter registration, that's the CVR. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says the CVR exercise in the two states is to enable eligible citizens who are not registered voters to do so, and this will take place simultaneously from Monday, May the 27th to Wednesday, June the 5th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, including the weekend. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed this during a meeting with the leaders of political parties held at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, as he advises parties to adhere strictly to the electoral guidelines as it sets May the 20th, 2024, as the deadline for political parties contesting in the Ondo governorship election to submit the names of their candidates.
Today's meeting will update party leaders on preparations for the Edo and Ondo governorship elections. As you are aware, the Edo State governorship election is holding in the next 4 months on Saturday, 21st September 2024, while the Ondo governorship election holds in the next 6 months on Saturday, 16th November 2024. Turning to Ondo State, political parties have just concluded their primaries. 18 political parties conducted primaries monitored by the Commission. I wish to remind you that parties have 1 week to the deadline for the nomination of candidates. As the elections in the two states approach, the Commission has decided to resume the continuous voter registration in the two states to enable eligible citizens who are not registered as voters to do so.
Let's now talk business. Data from the central bank shows that commercial lenders reduced loans to the 3 tiers of government by 73% to 19.59 trillion naira in March 2024 from 33.93 trillion naira in the previous month. Financial analysts attribute this to the government's rekindled interest in the fixed income market in March. the Debt Management Office had revealed that the federal government garnered a total of about 11 trillion naira from auctions, treasury bills, and savings bonds in 4 months. While yields on government securities are on the increase, it is still cheaper for the government to raise funds through treasury bills rather than borrowing from banks. It's now signed and sealed. Finidi George has been unveiled as the new head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria by the Nigeria Football Federation, pledging their support, or full support I should say, to the former winger. The Football Federation signed a 1-year contract with George, mandating the 53-year-old to qualify the 3-time African champions for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. George has picked Daniel Amokachi and Benjamin James as his assistants. His first assignment will be the qualification game against Bafana of South Africa at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. That will be taking place in June.
We'll support Finidi. We'll give him whatever he needed to work, and the issue of paying his salary will not be a problem by the grace of God. We are going to do our best to make sure that we support him.
I want to say I'm grateful to be standing here for this great opportunity given to me to manage the Super Eagles. I think it's not an easy job for anybody. For me, it's just to start working immediately, which I've been doing even before signing this contract.
Well, we wish him the very best, and all eyes on him right now. It's a good thing that we're signing a local coach. But those are the stories we've been tracking for you in the last 24 hours. I will shape our conversation.